particular things. Number one, it's the same old news again. The US facing partial shutdown. I know we have been talking about this for some time already, but as long as there's no long-term agreement, this will always creep up, and it's really getting a bit bothersome, to be frank. So on January 19, right? So that's like 9 days from now, the US government Department of Agriculture, Transportation and Housing and Urban Development will stop working because they won't have enough money to operate. Then on February the 2nd, all government activities could come to a halt. Okay, that's for the US. But this whole problem can be avoided if two important people, i.e. the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the House Speaker Mike Johnson, can come to an agreement on the overall budget amount for federal agency funding in fiscal year of 2024, right? So Johnson, which is the House Speaker, said he won't support any more short-term fixes. He did it once, and that was in December, and that is to avert any other things, because you know that the holiday is coming, and so they said, okay, we are going to defer this until January, and January, that's it, that's the last one. And he's keeping to what he said. He won't support any more short-term fixes already. Okay, so this time, this is it. They're going to discuss. Let's hope so. Okay. Now, the shutdown fiasco, which has been plaguing the US, has been ongoing and is certainly serious and erodes confidence in institutions if left to continue in such a manner. Okay, so I agree to this. No more short-term fixes. But the few things they need to deal with, okay? In recent days, Senate negotiators have been discussing new laws related to border security and immigration. These laws would help US officials handle the large number of people crossing the southern border. And if you don't know how serious it is, just go on Twitter. All these news portals, they are actually reporting this issue at the current moment, right? So Republicans, on the other hand, want stricter rules as a condition for supporting a 110.5 billion security package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan proposed by the Democrats. Okay. The White House is worried that some Republican members might be willing to let the government funding expire over this border issue right over here. So the battle is happening as the 2024 election cycle is starting, this battle. And some Republicans don't want to make any deals on the border because they think it could hurt President Biden politically. So they don't want Biden to win. They prefer a Republican to be the next US president. That's very obvious, right? So a government shutdown is something anyone, something, it's not something anyone wants, and it could have negative effects on the economy and bring some bearish movements to the S&P 500. So this next 2 weeks will be very crucial, leading right up to the February the 2nd. Okay, so expect some volatility, especially if Schumer and Johnson don't see eye to eye and this one. But first of all, Johnson has to deal with the lower house first before he moves to the upper house, i.e. the Senate. Okay, so this is the things that we need to look out for in the next 2 weeks. The next thing that I want to talk about